We're back. So we're going back to a flashback where Kyrie kind of goes behind Rudolph's back and invites Battler to come with Angie and her to amusement park. And Rudolph has no knowledge of this. Sumu has no knowledge of this. And they were at the point together, I believe. So we're going behind the married couple's back to or no, I think Asumu died in childbirth, right? So never mind. I'm not sure exactly when Asumu died. Asumu, I think, is the mother of Battler, and she was alive for a while until she died. So I'm sure that this is probably still when she's alive. We don't know yet. Let's see if my bandwidth still gives me some problems here. It just got... The stream just died a second ago, so let me see. I mean, it looks like it's good for now, so let's keep going. Inside the glass case had been filled with plastic capsules packed with fun-looking things. It seemed that each of those capsules had some kind of cute little object inside. The game was to grab those with the crane, but I was young and it was too hard for me. No matter how many times I tried, I didn't even get close. Mom told me that whatever was inside was probably cheap anyway, and we didn't even know what it was, so there was no point in getting all upset about it. But whether it was something cheap or not wasn't the issue. The process of grabbing happiness with my own hands felt very important and sacred to me. So I wanted that capsule with its unknown cheap little object more than anything. That's how they get you guys. That's how they get the kids. Then Battler Oni-chan came over after finishing with the game where you shoot soldiers with a gun. I had to go at my place. The happiness that was beyond my reach. Oni-chan stretched out with his longer arms and he grasped it for me. Oni-chan was really coordinated. Apparently he often played at the arcade with his friends. After only 1 or 2 attempts at the crane, he grabs that thing on the other side of the glass that I hadn't even been able to touch. And dumped it into the exit chute. Hey, it's Barrett's. When Oni-chan tossed me that capsule, I remember feeling like I could count on him for anything. For the next several days, I felt like the capsule was too precious to open up. She didn't open up the capsule for 2 days? That's funny. For several days. Then one day, I finally opened it up. And when I did, what revealed itself from inside was this pink bead hair accessory. Since that day, this had been a symbol of Oni-chan. My young mind thought that getting that 4-person family together with Battler Oni-chan included was a precondition for a happy family. So I wanted Oni-chan and Dad to make up quickly. So this is when they were, okay. This is when Battler left the family, basically. Because his mother is dead at this point. So that's what it means. And he didn't make up with his father, but apparently he made up with Kyrie behind his father's back. So he wasn't mad about Kyrie remarrying his dad. He was mad about his dad just remarrying in general, it seems like. So that's what it seems like. In my own way, I had made this hair accessory a charm to bring my whole family together. That's why I had always used to wear it. Because I wanted to feel my reliable, funny, and wonderful Oni-chan by my side all the time. I gave him a place in our house.
でも、お兄ちゃんの記憶はあまりに遠い。マリアお姉ちゃんがライオンのぬいぐるみからサクタラを生み出したようには簡単にできない。私は死者の魂を蘇らせる大魔法を必ず身につける。そしてそれを成功させられる唯一の鍵が、よりしろがこれなの。
なるほど。その頭飾りにものすごい魔力を感じてたけど、そういうわけなのね。
That's the last thing that she has of her brothers, pretty much, right?
魔力？お兄ちゃんのこれに魔力が宿ってるの？
園児様が宿らせていると言うべきかもね。園児様の兄を呼び出したいという強い思いが魔力を与えている。確かに反言は大魔法だけど、園児様はその魔法のために無意識のうちに 着実に階段を登っているのは間違いない。
Nice.
嬉しいわ。私以外の人にそれを認めてもらえるのは。
Your own effort isn't something that you can observe by yourself. In that sense, even though these words came from a dangerous demon girl who governs one of the 7 deadly sins, they made me very happy.
反言の魔法に至るのと寿命を全うするのとどっちが早いかだけは私には保証できないけれども、でも挑む山の高さが高ければ高いほど魔女としての力も比例していく。
She has the proportionate strength of a spider.
エンジ様はくじけることがなかったなら、きっといつか私たちの元の主ベアトリーチェ様に匹敵するほどの大魔女になれると思います。
なれるかしら。大魔女になってお兄ちゃんを、家族を蘇らせることができるかしら。
反言の魔女演者卿、素敵。反言の魔女はかなりレアな魔女です。
So now we got a resurrection, which aka is a priest. Usually in games, right? So now we got enchantress, we got summoness, I guess. We got mage. We got now a priest. What the fuck's going on with these classes here? A witch is not all these classes, guys. A witch is their own separate class. Probably a hex, a debuffer, right? Or a buffer, either way. But it's not a fucking priest, alright? You can't be a priest witch. There's no way you can't be a summoner witch. You can't be an enchanter witch. No. No, 99999. But artist is taking a little bit of license with all these classes here. So it's making whoever is a D&D player is making your head spin probably listening to all this shit. Like you can't fold all these goddamn magical classes into one class of witch. It's not gonna happen. It's not working. But apparently this game does.
そんな魔女がご主人様なんてちょっと鼻が高いです。
So witch is just a catch-all class for a magician, an unspecified magician, and then you have your own like subclass, which has all the classical magical sets, either mage, either fucking priest, enchanter, bard, I guess, because bard is really the fucking the classical witch category of being a buffer, being a debuffer, right? Bard, dancer, same difference. But no, that's all witch. In this game, it's all witch. Everybody's a witch. Even fucking warlocks are witches, right? Okay, makes sense to me.
っていうか
Summoner,
むしろそうなってほしい
you're a
もので
witch.
す。家具の価値も主の格に比例しますので、もうベアトリ
That's
ー
always
チ
true.
様さえ抜いちゃって天下無双の
Hey, hunter,
大魔女
right?
にな
You
って
could be a
ください
hunter,
ね
you could be a witch.
煉獄の7
Have
姉
a
妹を
pet?
代表して
You're a witch.
心より応援申し上げます。
That's Maria is, right? Maria, witch of origins. She's a hunter. She has Sakutaro as her pet. That's a witch now. A hunter. I thought that if a magical friend were to appear for me too, I'd like a cute kid like Sakutaro. Like the hunter Maria does. But even this 5th sister of the frightening 7 sisters who governs the 7 deadly sins was enough to calm my heart this much all by herself. In the middle of fucking nighttime roll call. In a fucking St. Lucia's prison. Maria One-chan probably knew this long ago. That's why she recommended the world of witches to me over and over and over again. And over! And I kept on stubbornly rejecting it, because I'm a dumbass. I should have given in and started my training as a witch sooner! A year as a child compares with 10 in old age, was it? At this point I find my past self deplorable for wasting precious time doing nothing but complaining. Long after I turned off my lights and slipped into my bed, Mammon continued to talk to me beside my pillow. I mean, she still has some magical powers, right? She has Mammon. She got Mammy on her side. So, I mean, it's not like you didn't do anything when you were a kid as far as magic goes. You had a little bit of training. So, I mean, we'll say that she got 1 year in her belt as a kid. Hey, that's 10 years sooner that you learning shit that you don't have to fucking spend as an adult. So, you got 10 years worth. Bam. Don't be mad. Just get better, right? Don't be mad, get better. I promise! One day for sure I'll develop a magical power that can summon the 7 sisters. I'll let them have a lively and fun time. We're gonna have a good time, and it's alright. The 7 of them make a single whole. None of them can be left out. They must be together. I must bring them together. I must increase my bust. Alright. We got a little motivation for Angie now. She wants to bring the family of the 7 sisters back together, just like she wants to bring her family back together. So, good shit. My awareness beginning to return slowly. So this is all Angie going into her little hissy fit after she saw what happened with Rosa and Maria on the game board. Remember, we were on the game board in episode 4, and Rosa was like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, I love you, I love you, I love you," and acting like a fake ass fucking doting mother. When we all know the truth, Rosa's a bitch ass mother. She's a fucking child spanking bitch. So Angie couldn't see that. She had to like excuse herself. She threw the fucking black teacup down and fucking I gotta take a timeout, you know. And then the timeout was her remembering how her and Maria were kind of like in cahoots with her trying to learn magic again, which is we might surmise that that's the reason why Angie met Bernkastel in the first place. Why she met a witch, right? Why this witch wants her as a piece in this game against the witch and the human, and why Angie is even allowed into this fucking game board, into this chessboard in the first place, because she's gotten some experience learning magic with Maria, who is also a member of the Mariage Sorciere with Beatrice. So of course Angie can kind of like slip in the cracks and be a sleeper agent, you know, against Beatrice for Bernkastel, who wants to be Beatrice, who wants to get out of this fucking cat box. But Lambda Delta doesn't want her to get out of the cat box. Lambda Delta is probably anti-Angie, but she's trying to like empower Beatrice to win this game so she can keep Bernkastel locked up for eternity. So I mean, that's where we're at right now. Looks like Angie's coming back to the game board, so we're gonna go back into the actual episode 4 game board where the Ushur Mias are still alive for the next, you know, 24 hours at least. I hadn't been able to stand watching Aunt Rosa and Maria Oni-chan's relationship, and had run away from Beato and Oni-chan's game, hadn't I? You had. I've got to go back! We gotta go back! We've got to go back! Support Oni-chan and quickly bring him back from this world and his crazy witch games. Because as long as I'm here, I'm not permitted to call myself Angie. She's Gretel. Suddenly I felt someone's presence. Bernie? Is it Bernie? Bernie? Hey, it's Mammon. When I turned around, there stood Mammon.
グレーテル様、そろそろお戻りになられないと、ゲームの進行に差し支えると、ベアトリーチェ様が仰せです。
We're gonna explain something real quick here. This Mammon, it's a different Mammon than the one that she knows in that flashback we just saw. So the Mammon that Angie summoned back in the day, that was quote unquote her Mammon, because Beatrice was dead already at that point, right? So now we're back to the reality where Beatrice is still alive in the meta world. So this is Beatrice's Mammon now. And there's also something that pretty much happened in the past that Angie is kind of ashamed of, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because we're going to see that pretty soon. But Angie and Mammon have an interesting relationship, as you already saw in that flashback. But there is a reason why this Mammon specifically calls her Gretel and doesn't recognize, you know, Angie, and it acts like she doesn't know who Angie is, and it's gonna like probably tear Angie's heart in half to see Mammon do this to her. So it's interesting to say the least. So that's all I'm gonna say.
速やかにお戻りになられますようにお願い申し上げます。
ありがとう。もう戻るわ。
よかったじゃないですか。
何が？
バトラお兄ちゃんに出会え
皮肉？
て。そう聞こえるならそういうことにしてもらってもいいですけど。
ごめんなさい。言葉通りに受け取るべきね。ええ、そうよ。こんなおかしな世界であってもお兄ちゃんに出会えて心底に嬉しいわ。
Okay, okay.
そしてお兄ちゃんのためにベアトリーチ様に打ち勝つ。
So it looks like she does actually remember her, so never mind. This is the mammon that she remembers a little bit.
ええ、いつまでもこんな世界で遊ばれてちゃ困るもの。そろそろお家へ帰る時間なのよ。だから私が呼びに来たわ。
せいぜい頑張ってください。私今の主はベアトリーチ様ですので応援はできませんが。
It's the same kind of deal that Ronove had when he was Eva Beatrice's servant. He still kind of was on, you know, Beatrice's side, even though Eva Beatrice was commanding him, ostensibly. Mammon is still kind of on Angie's side, especially when it's just Angie and Mammon talking. But even though she's really Beatrice's furniture in this meta world, she's still kind of cool with, you know, Angie, sorry. So that's what this scene's about.
知ってるわ。1986年10月5日まではあなたはベアトリーチェの家具よ。そしてやがては私の友人になるわ。
Yeah, 1998 Mammon is different Mammon than 86 Mammon. But we're back in 86 now, so that Mammon is tied to Beatrice now.
そしてやがてはその友人を
Okay, so here's what I was kind of hinting at. She threw Mammon away somehow, some way in 98. We didn't see that yet, but that's what happened.
何しろ
That's why I was saying that she's a different Mammon, because the Mammon that we just met in that flashback, something happened to where Angie no longer called herself the master of Mammon. Somehow, some way. So we'll see that scene eventually. And she's going to refer to it right now, though. Seems like a painful memory, right? Seems like literally a painful memory. Mammon moaned as if she had bit her tongue, staggering as she clutched her chest. Apparently the rule applies to people other than me as well. Then yes, you can't talk about Angie in this meta world or else she will die.
大丈夫？それ結構辛いわよ。
失礼しました。グレーテル様。
That's why she intentionally calls her Gretel-sama. Wait, did she say Angie? Hold on, let me see. Now she just referred to the okay. I got you. She almost said Angie, I guess. And then that's what happened. You can't say Angie, basically.
いいえ、ありがとう。嬉しいわ。お兄ちゃんに出会えて。あなたの最初の問いへの答えよ。じゃあ、戻りましょう。私があまりぐずると、あなたが今の主人に怒られるわ。
はい。ご理解いただけて助かります。それではこっち。
What in the?
マモ？
I'm sure Mammon had been about to say, well then, this way. But she stopped dead as though the film had been torn off. Looked like she is suddenly frozen. Then I noticed she wasn't the only thing that had frozen. Even the air and floating bits of dust frozen in place. A world where it seemed like even time itself had frozen. Yes! It resembled that what would usually happen just before a Burka still appeared. But the atmosphere was different somehow. Then I understood. It wasn't Bernie. It was the other witch. It was Satoka, Lambda. Satoka, Lambda. Delta. Lambda Delta Hojo. Satoka, Lambda Delta.
ラムダデルタ。
Lambda Delta.
あなたにはルールの適用はないのね。
当たり前でしょ。
Yeah, she can say Angie all she wants.
ルールは他人を縛るためにあるのよ。自分をそれで縛るバカはいないわ。
Burkestel is a witch who supports me, but this girl's different. This witch supports Beatrice. In other words, she's on the side of the anime. There's some kind of difference between her and Beatrice. There's something elusive about Lambda Delta's existence and Burkestel's as well. How should I put it? Maybe like they're beings from a higher dimension. They are Voyager witches, so they can actually travel inside and outside of other people's realms. Beatrice cannot leave her own realm. She's pretty much trapped in the cat box, just like everybody else on this game board. Lambda Delta and Burkestel can travel to the cat box, inside and outside of it. But while they're here, they're locked in with Beatrice while the people are playing the game, basically. So that's why Burkestel wants to be broken out of the scat box using Angie, using Battler. But Lambda Delta doesn't mind being in the cat box as long as she's in there with Burkestel. But that's the limitation, though. If you're in a game board with another witch, you're in that game board for good until you escape it. That's pretty much what happens. In any event, I'm still unsure about how to deal with her. The only thing that I'm certain about is that she is my enemy. No, just knowing that might be enough.
私に何かご用？
まあね、あなたたちの会話に耳を傾けてたらちょっと面白い話になったんでね。あなたにちょっといい話を聞かせてあげようと思って。
あなたは私の敵のはず。そのあなたが私に得する話を聞かせる理由が思いつかないの。つまり耳を傾けた時点で負けということだわ。
Lambda Delta is neutral, to be honest. She really is. If you're losing, she's your best friend because she's going to help you out. It seems like you guys are not winning, so I mean, you might want to listen to her, Angie. And shut your mouth and listen to her.
じゃあね。See you next time.
See you again.
誤解しないで。私の相手はベルンであってあなたじゃないわ。つまり私とあなたが共に得をする話はあり得るということよ。
悪いけど私には聞く気がないわ。
That said, I probably won't be released from this frozen time until Lambda Delta is happy. That itself might be proof that she's a higher dimensional being than me. I haven't been given the option of not listening to her. About the only thing I can do is strengthen my mental guard and try not to be shaken by anything she says. She'll probably either try to make me believe something disadvantageous to me, or threaten me.
そんなに身構えなくてもいいってば。私はあなたの誤解を解きに来ただけよ。いえ、ちょっと違う。ベルンカステルがあなたについた嘘を教えてあげようと思ってやってきたのよ。
This is about resurrecting her family, maybe?
ベルンカステルが嘘？
あなたがベルンにベアトを倒せば兄が帰ってくるようなそんな言い方をされたんじゃないの？
She sure did.
さあ、あなたに話す気はないけど。
My brother coming home. I hadn't been promised anything that dreamlike. It was a promise with considerably low prospects where I could end up with maybe one person and only if I was lucky. That's enough for me. Since I was promised an eternity of isolation, this faint but still non-zero chance was like a blindingly bright beacon to me.
ある意味ベルンのその約束は嘘ではないわ。
Yeah, it wasn't a lie. She didn't actually lie to her.
ベルンがそう約束したのならきっとあなたがベアトを倒せばバトラも両親も解放されてあなたのところへ帰ってくる。
何の問題もないじゃない。
本気で？あの子は案外残酷よね。分かってて騙すなんて。
私がどう騙されてるというの？
Shoot. I've let her take the initiative. But I won't be released until I land near to her story. So it's something that I'll have to hear anyway. True. Even though I realized that I could be on the verge of falling into a trap, I urge your own words.
今はなんで？
She already set the bait up, and you took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. She got you.
このゲーム版の世界のこと？
1986.
ならば、1986年10月4日よ。
その通り。ならば、あなたがベアトに打ち勝ったなら、台風が去った10月6日に島に囚われていた人々は帰還する。 1986年の10月6日にね。
だから何？
あなたの1986年の10月6日はどうだった？
They never came back.
親戚の家にいたんじゃなかったかしら。
I had been at the house of the only Sumadera my mother trusted, Grandpa. We got a call. While I was playing with building blocks in the Tommy room, we got that call. After watching to see what I remembered, Emeralds smiled unpleasantly in smoke. This is their point here, guys.
ねえ、あなたの1986年10月6日にバトラお兄ちゃん帰ってきた？
Whatever happens, happens for Angie. So, even if she did change the past, does her past change? Nope. Because if her past does change, then she won't go on into the future in 1988 to then change the past for 1986. So that's a totally different dimension, basically. That's what her point is. You can't change the past, Angie. Even though I didn't understand what I was being told, I noticed an unpleasant sweat sweeping out all over my face. I don't understand. I don't understand. You understand. You get it. What is this switch saying? Oh, she'll explain it here.
あなたがベアトを倒せばバトラは確かに解放されるわ。そしてお家へ帰るでしょうね。1986年のお家に。だってそうでしょ？バトラは1986年の10月4日から5日に閉じ込められてるんだもの。解放されたらその翌日に帰るのは当然でしょ？そしてあなたは
And who are you?
1998年
Who are you?
バトラが帰ってこなかった1998年の後ろ宮へ
Exactly. So the fact that she's already here means that Battler didn't return in her reality. So if she now changes the past, there's a new dimension that happens where Battler does return, and that Battler interacts with Angie in 1986. It has nothing to do with the Angie that's here now. So it doesn't affect her. It affects the alternate version of her. So she's still not going to have a better life, whatever she does here. That's basically it. That's basically the end of Delta's point.
意味わかる？
Oh, we get it.
何言ってるのあんたは。
I don't think Andy gets it yet.
10月6日に家族が家に帰ってくるなら素敵
It's
だ
not going to be your October 6th. It's going to be an alternate version of Angie.
私はすぐにおじいちゃんの家から帰
So
る
sorry.
わ。そして私たちは出会う。めでたしめでたし。
ええ、後ろ宮エンジは家族に再会できるでしょうね。1986年に6歳の後ろ宮エンジはね。
私って誰？
後ろ宮エンジよ、18歳。違うの。後ろ宮エンジじゃない。そういう名前の魔女の駒なのよ。厳密にはエンジェ・ベアトリーチェという名の全くの別人。
That's right.
意味わかる？
I'm starting to think I don't. Huh? Huh? Who am I? Huh?
だからベルンは残酷だなって思うの。いいえ、意地悪だなって思うのよね。そういう経験なくもないくせにね。
私忘れてる。
That was a nice clue for Higurashi fans, right there. It's not like she didn't experience that herself. Being somebody else's chess piece. Well, if you're watching Sotsu, you know what she means by that.
ああ、でもどうか
You're not being tricked, per se. She's using your motivation because Battler never came home for you in 1986 to fix a problem for a you that's in a different fragment. I mean, it's not going to affect you at all. But you are the chess piece that Burns using like a fiddle. Burns playing like a fiddle, pretty much. So, suck to suck.
だって考えようによって
She's not lying.
あの子は嘘をついてない。ベアトを倒せば家族が帰ってくる。後ろ宮エンジのところに。でもその後ろ宮エンジがあなたの
She
こと
did
だ
not
と
say
は
that.
言ってないだろうけど。
She did not. Was it like that? Was it like that? What did Burkestel say to me again? Your assistance need it. Your family needs it. Burkestel had started by saying that. Then I had responded, if I save them, does that mean my family will come back? And how had Burkestel answered that again? I cannot promise that. That kid did promise me. In exchange for accepting this fight. Yes, this is what she said. In exchange, I will search for the fragment with the ideal world that you wish for. The world where your family comes home. Yes, that's right. She only said she'd search for it. She didn't say she'd find it. But I've been prepared for that from the beginning. Even so, she did promise that as long as I didn't give up, there was a faint chance of it happening. And in the end, she said this. I'm giving you a chance for revenge. And that change, I promise to find it and bring you the happiest resolution that it is possible for you to receive. Well, she's still not lying, right?
私の全絶対のゼロが揺らぐわずかの可能性と引き換えなら私にはそれだけで価値がある。仮に復讐を成し遂げても徒労になるかもしれない。だから
その部分に嘘はないわね。ベアとのゲーム版は完璧よ。あんたが立ち回ったところでベアとが敗北する可能性なんて将来に一度のみ夢見ることを許されるかどうかくらいほんのわずか。つまり限りなくゼロとみなせるほどに絶対にその勝率はほとんどゼロ。だからベルンがそういうお茶を濁した言い方になるのは仕方がない。でもあなたに夢を持たせた点についてだけは騙してると言い切れるわ。だって天文学的な確率を乗り越えてあんたが勝利できたとしても家族が帰ってくるのはあんたのところじゃない。この1986年に存在する6歳の正しい後宮エンジェのところへよ。あんたのところにじゃない。
Not you.
ベルンはそれでも100億のかけらをめぐりあんたに一番マシな世界を探すでしょうね。そしてその彼女が言ったんじゃないの。手土産に持参するつもりだが見つけられなかった。
That's right, she did say that. She still couldn't find it.
そろそろ気づいてきた？あんたこの戦いにご褒美が用意されてないのよ。いえ、それどころかベアと打ち破ればゲーム版は消え去る。そしてその駒であるあんたも消え去る。あんたに享受できるゴールは完全にいいえ私の名において宣言するわ。この絶対の魔女ラムダデルタの名において絶対にないと宣言する。
Ouch.
それがベルンの嘘。煙に巻いたというべき。あんたに救いがあるかのように誤解させた。私はそれを解きに来たのよ。
つまり私はどう戦いどう勝利を収めようとも私のところに家族は帰ってこないの？
帰ってこない。
Nah, probably not. They're already dead. In your reality, they're already dead. So, sucks to suck.
絶対に絶対の魔女が絶対にって言ってるの。これってすごいことよ。私に絶対が与えられたくて歴史的建造物を捧げた古代の王たちが何人もいたのに私はそれを気前よくあんたにもプレゼントしちゃうの。これってばとっても素敵でキュートでマーベラスなことなのよ。でも一つだけいい提案があるの。
Not good. I'm getting completely swept up. I knew I shouldn't have listened, and now the witch in the Delta is starting to suck me in. What you want? What are the terms?
私とあなたが共に得をする話はありうる。最初から私はそういう話をすると言っているの。だから耳を貸すしかないのよ。
聞いてやるわよ。聞けばいいんでしょ？
I bet she is. I finally lost control over my emotions and exploded from the inside. I don't have a clue anymore. I believed that I was Angie, but at some point I stopped being Angie. That's right, I'm Angie, not Angie. Who am I? I'm not my parents' daughter, nor my brother's little sister. I'm just a piece in a witch's game.
そこまで悲観することはないわ。だってよく考えて、今あんたはバトラお兄ちゃんに出会えているわ。確かに自らの名を名乗ることはできないけれど、それでも少なくとも魔女と戦うゲームの味方同士という位置にいつまでも永遠に一緒にいることができる。意味わかる？
Frustratingly, I do. In other words, as long as Oni-chan keeps getting a draw in this game, it will be repeated forever. Continuing to draw means the game will continue for eternity, and it means that I, as a game piece, can remain with Oni-chan. But if Oni-chan wins or else loses, and then the curtain closes on this game...
駒であるあんたは消える。ゲームの駒の幸せは何？ゲームで遊んでもらうことだけよ。押し入れにしまわれて埃をかぶることじゃないわ。そう。
In the past, the Seven Sisters of Purgatory said it as well. Furniture's happiness is being used, not being stored away. That's right. I am now the witch's furniture.
話を少し変えるわね。実は私、このゲーム永遠に引き分け
So
続けてほしい。
that's the Toko, I mean Lambda Delta's motivation. She wants to trap Rico, I mean burnt to still in this game for all eternity. Just like in Higurashi.
終わらないゲームは永遠の終わ
The Eternal Cage.
り。ベルンを今度こそ屈服させる未来永劫に開かれることのない絶対ミスよ。レアとはね、一応は勝つ気があるの。バトラを屈服させるという勝利。でもね、実はそれも私には困るのよ。だってゲームが終わっちゃったら密室が崩れてしまうのよ。
So she's trying to sabotage her own charge, Beatrice, because she wants the game to go on forever, basically. So now she's going to help the other side. And she's on Beatrice's side. Now she's trying to like help Burnt to Still side. The fuck?
だから私、バトラが屈服することだけはないように、ある程度の手心を加えてる。
Totoko has some tricks.
安心して、バトラが屈服しかけると、私は彼の味方になったりもしてるのよ。ただね、どうもベアとのやつ、それにうすうす気づき出してる気がする。このゲームに自分の勝ちは永遠にないんじゃないかって気づき始めてる気がする。でもそこはさすが無限の魔女。ベアとはバカだから、それでもいつかきっと勝てる。それまで延々と無限にゲームを繰り返せばいいと楽観してるわ。金髪の女は大抵足りないって決まってるものよ。
この魔女のゲームには勝利も敗北もない。
私が勝たせない、そして負かせない、絶対に。ベルンはそれに気づいてる。そしてそれを破るために最も強力な駒としてあんたを見つけ、このゲームを終わらせるためにね。
Interesting. Alright, we're gonna take a quick break here. This is all interesting shit. We've gotten the motivations of Totoko, I mean Lambda Delta over here. We've gotten Angie having her world shattered as she tries to go back into this game. She's basically now just a piece, even though she has Angie's memories of being in 1998. The second she got into this game board, she's just a piece. So now we're just in the meta world, existing in between the games. So when the games stop, she stops, right? Just like Battler. Battler is only existing in between these games as long as he's still in his deadlock with Beatrice. Beatrice also only exists in this game world. And the witches, they exist outside the game world, but they're locked inside this game right now because they have to get out. By getting out, that means they have to win. So one side or the other, the human side or the witch side has to win for this game board to dissipate, for the two witches, Lambda Delta and Burnt to Still, to be out of the game board. But right now they're both trapped in there with Beatrice. with Angie, with Battler, with all the other pieces. They're just another 2 pieces basically in this game board. So nobody's out until the game is over, until somebody's declared the winner. And with that, we'll be right back, guys. Oops. We're back. Angie's over here crying now. That kind of sucks. Don't cry, dry your eyes. We're crying here.
このゲームを終わらせる。
終われば困る役目は
They'll be put back into their compartments and boxed up for eternity.
はっきり断言する。あんたは存在が矛盾してるのよ。自らの存在理由が自らを闇に葬り絶望するため。
My goal is to defeat Beato and release my captive family. And yet, if I succeed, I won't be rewarded.
負けられない。そして勝っても報われない。だから私は第三の選択肢をあなたに持ってきたの。そしてその選択肢は私とあなたの利害を一致させるわ。
Continuing the draw forever.
そう。永遠に引き分け続ける限りこの世界は崩壊しない。この世界は何？魔女とのゲームの世界。ベアトとバトラが永遠に戦い続ける世界。そして同時にあなたが永遠にバトラと一緒にいられる世界なのよ。
My brain turned to mush. I could feel the chaos pouring from my eyes as hot liquid. The heat of it felt like it was going to burn my face.
エンジェリア・ドリーチ、ゲームを終わらせあなたとバトラの交流できる世界を終わ わらせようとするのが目的のベルンカステルに、あの子はあんたを騙してたのよ。自分の駒になればあんたが救われるかのようにごまかしてね。でも私はそこをごまかさない。だから言うわ、エンジェ。私の駒になりなさい。私はベルンのように絶対にもらえない嘘のご褒美なんてちらつかせないわ。私の駒となる。このゲームが絶対に終わらないように私に協力する限り、私はあんたにこの世界が絶対に続くことを我が名において絶対に約束する。それだけじゃないわ。ボーナスもつけてあげる。あなたに課せられているルール、それを取り払ってあげるわ。まあもちろん私の駒になると誓ってもらった後にだけどね。
Hey, what will that binds her? My throat made a heavy, gulping, loud sound. Ah, I shouldn't have listened. If I hadn't listened, I would have remained an innocent little sister praying for my brother's victory. But I might be different now. I might have degraded into a witch's furniture, satisfied merely to be by Oni-chan's side.
兄を裏切れと言ってるわけじゃないんだからね。バトラが負けそうになったら全力で助ければいい。逆にバトラがベアと追い詰めすぎたら少し加減を変えてあげてほしいと、その程度のお願いをしているのよ。大丈夫、バトラを裏切るほどの必要はないわ。バトラ一人じゃベアトには勝てない。だからベルンはあんたを送り込んだんでしょ。あんたが手を貸さない限りバトラは永遠にベアトには勝てない。とっても簡単でしょ。
Well, she is the linchpin, basically. She's the one that's arguing for Battler, because Battler doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So it does make sense. If she holds back a little bit, this game's gonna go on forever, because Battler's never gonna win, right? So it's gonna be all goddamn Angie taking care of this shit. If she does happen to win the game. That's a hell of a deal by old Satoko. I mean Lambda Delta. Satoko, I mean Lambda Delta. It's a hell of a deal.
ちょっとそれ私の。
Looks like we're manifesting more of the 7 stakes. There's Leviathan.
返してやだやだ、私が食べるの。アスモアスモレビアお姉様、こっちこっち。
It's Leviosa, not Levione-chan. Leviosa. Leviosa. I wonder where they swiped it from. They were fighting over a donut or something, playing around really loudly. Bitches.
エンジェ様は読書をなさってるのよ。少しは静かにできないの。そう言ってるサタンが一番うるさいの。沈黙なさい。この愚昧が。ルシファーお姉様の方がうるさいです。文句が終わり。
Right now, it's using the fights between the oldest and the third eldest sister. It's a bit funny how they're both a little hesitant even though they're so quick to anger. They might be surprisingly similar. Or they're both the Lord of Darkness, Satan and Lucifer, right? So, that's why.
賑やかにしていろとの仰せでしたが、これではさすがに少しボリュームを下げさせますか。
気にしないで騒いでてくれていいわ。教室の黄色い笑い声より100倍心地よいもの。
エンジ様、早く次のページ。エンジ様は読むのが遅い。
マモンは読書が好きなの？地味なことが一番苦手そうに見えるのにね。
マモンが司るのは強欲。知識欲にもそれは通じます。ただし独占したがるので、本を与えると人に読ませまいと読書後に焼いてしまうこともあるのでご注意を。
That's vicious.
私は誰も知らないことを私だけが知っているのが好き。誰もできないことを私だけができるのが好き。だから勉強は好き。で、私だけが 誰も知らないエイジを独り占めしたいから。
As Mammon said that, her eyes sparkling, she stared transfixed at the open page, reading it through again. You can see the greed that made her even more intent than me on devouring that page. As you can see, my magical power is now much stronger compared to the first day I summoned them. I was now at the point where I can summon all the 7 sisters of Purgatory at once and still calmly read a book like this. How many weeks was this, you know? How long did it take? This place, although I couldn't recall where it was a quiet and calm street beside bench. The reason that I couldn't remember the location of this place was that at the time I visited it, I was very young. Still, I remember the day we walked here and how much fun it was. My mom, my dad, and even Oni-chan had been there. It was a memory of a very rare and very happy day when all the family had actually been together. So this is her happy place. This is her wide open space inside of her mind where she can summon all these people. And she's going to be reading a book at the same time. Good stuff. People walking by every once in a while weren't noticing me. They were just pleasantly ignoring me and passing me by as normal. I wasn't even the slightest bit embarrassed by the 7 sisters' seamless outfits, because it wasn't like they were actually being seen by anybody. In fact, I'd gotten pretty used to them, just as long as they didn't make me wear one. I was sitting on a stylish bench memorizing a timeline for world history. In an academy system where everything is based on collective responsibility, there's no tolerance for dunces. It seemed that I was lowering the average grade for the class considerably. According to those extremely intellectual girls, if I alone improved my grade, the average would rise drastically. They had been kind enough to show me with a graph drawn with colorful pens on a B4 sheet of drawing paper. Just thinking of the effort it must have taken to draw on that was nauseating, but I'd already spat out all those complaints. I'd already used those girls to vent all my furious angles and sadness. 7 sisters were sometimes outraged, sometimes compassionate, sometimes shared in my sorrows. I was truly happy to have friends with whom I could share these emotions. It's said that they were originally furniture that existed to carry out Beatrice's cruel sacrificial ritual. That sickening occult message bottle was to be believed. It seemed that several among them even attacked my family. But I didn't believe that, and it would be pointless to question them about it. They're furniture, so all they do is respond to the master's request. Even if they really attacked my family, I couldn't hate them. The one I really hated was the Golden Witch Beatrice. The bitch. Or else the one at the very center of Broken Jima Gate, Aunt Eva. Best girl? Nah. She didn't do it.
ごめん。疲れたわ。少し休憩させて。
エンジ様、休憩だって。遊ぼう。エンジ様、遊ぼう。
And they noticed that I interrupted my studying. The most energetic young sister gathered around me. That wasn't all. Even Maria, Oni-chan, and Sakutaro showed themselves. They had probably been very close by, but they must have hid themselves so that they didn't interrupt my studying.
うりゅう、エンジェ、お勉強どう？お勉強どう？やー、サク太郎、元気？ちょっと、私にもモフモフさせて。
早い者勝ちだっていつも言ってるでしょ。
あー、かわいい。うきゅー、潰れちゃうよ。うりゅう。
七姉妹が揃ってる時に現れたのが運の尽きだ。おとなしくモフモフされてもらおう。
Be fluffed.
もう。
I hope that's what she said. Come and be fluffed. Yes, ma'am.
いっつもこんなにしてしまって。愚昧な姉と妹どもが申し。
サク太郎もみんなに会えて喜んでるよ。どうエンジェ、お勉強の調子は？
ありがとう。まあそこそこに。ご丁寧にも他のクラスで先にあった小テストのプリントが回してもらえたの。麗しい連帯感に涙が出るわ。とりあえず 多少はマシかしら。
ウリュウ、エンジェお勉強偉い。いっぱい点数取れるよ、ウリュウ。お疲れ様。マリア、お勉強は全然ダメだったから、ちゃんと勉強すれば点数が取れるエンジェが羨ましいよ。
Well, she's not getting good scores, you know that. She's bringing the fucking average down.
ご
That's
冗
what she
談
just
を。
said.
英語、ラテン語、オカルトの知識、そんなのを丸暗記できてるお姉ちゃんの方がよっぽどすごいわ。
マリアは魔法のお勉強は何でも覚えられるけど、つまんないお勉強は何も覚えられない。だからテストでも何も役に立たない。
確かにオカルトの知識はどうかと思うけど、英語なんかは成績に結びつくんじゃない？
小学校1年生の時、国語のテストで鉄砲のイラストの脇に四角が4マスあって、そこに名前を書きなさいって問題があった。
A gun in 4 squares, and it said to write its name in 4 squares. What?
ライフルって書いたら罰だった。
ライフル？
どうして？合ってるじゃない。
鉄砲が正解だって。
Oh, you gotta be kidding me with that shit. So they wouldn't accept the katakana word, that's an English word, rifle, but they would accept a topo with its 4 symbols in hiragana in Japanese. Bullshit.
カタカナは小学1年生では習わない。
Yeah, they don't like katakana, I guess. That's
マ
fucked
リア
up.
はよくわからないから。
It's called discriminatory. That's what that's called.
その日以来、テストでは全てひらがなで書くようにしたよ。でもなぜかママには怒られる。先生にも怒られる。
They want. What the fuck do they want here? You know? What the fuck do they want?
お姉ちゃんは多分生まれる国を
You'd be exactly. You'd be the wrong country to be born in.
ならマリア、
Sounds like a fucking nightmare,
魔女
dude.
の国に
Dealing
生ま
with
れ
that
て
shit.
魔法学校に入りたかった。
That's why I dropped Japanese. I'll tell you that, Maria.
そ
Why I
したら
dropped that shit.
もっともっと素敵な魔法の友達がいっぱいいたかもね。
Ooh.
でも別に今は何も気にしてないよ。だって魔法はいっぱい使えるし、魔法のお友達もたくさんいる。マリアにはサクタロがいれば十分だもの。
Sakataro, yes.
僕だけじゃないよ。サクスケもサク吉も動物の音楽隊もアザラシの下田くんもウサギのサナエさんも小豚のピゴーくんも他にもいっぱい。
Got a whole band. Incredible. Once Onichan's friends just kept increasing in number. Every time I asked, the list of her friends' names grew longer. But there's no doubt that Sakutaro is her best friend. He's her bestie. I'm a little jealous of her for having such a close friend.
ど
You got Memin, don't you?
う？
You
7
got
姉
many.
妹仲良くやれてる？
本当に賑やかな姉妹たちよ。たまに物騒なことを言い出すけど、悪く本当はサクタロみたいな可愛い子が良かったんだけど。
もっと私の原初の魔法を学んだなら、きっとエンジェの好みの友達を生み出せるようにもなるよ。今のエンジェに想像はまだちょっと難しいね。
想像と召喚は違う。そして半分もまた違う。
やっぱり一番の願いは家族。
よりしろは持ってるよ。これ。
そうだね。
Oops.
その髪飾りならいつかきっとバトラーを呼び出す鍵になるよ。あとはエンジェの修行次第だね。
それがいつまでかかるのかわからないのが泣けるけれども。
オーリュウ、辛くてもしっかり。エンジェが諦めなければ絶対にいつか叶うよ。
絶対に叶うという保証を誰かがくれたなら、きっと心も休まるでしょうにね。
ウリュウ、なら僕が保証する。エンジェはいつかきっと必ず願いを叶えられる。
ありがとう。
I will listen to Sakutaro. Just FYI, I don't know what happens. I do know what happens, but I will listen to him.
気休めでも
He knows what he's
嬉しいわ。
talking about.
気休めじゃないよ。無理よ。ダメだよエンジェ。そういう感情は半魔法の毒素になるよ。夢は必ず叶うって気持ちが一番よく芽吹く魔力の種なんだよ。
Always gotta believe in yourself, right? You always gotta believe that you can persevere. You have a goal in mind, you gotta believe that you can do it. You can't start out thinking that it's an impossible goal, right? That's not gonna work. So you better fucking believe you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, who else is gonna believe you can do it? Not me.
そうね。ごめんなさい、お師匠様。
Master, whoa.
エンジ様は
Okay.
少し強欲さが足りないのよ。欲しいもののためにはどこまでも。手に入れるまで絶対に諦めないという根性が足りない。
Exactly.
無理よ。そんなことないよ。エンジェは頑張ってるよ。
Well, she could be doing better.
ありがとう、作太郎。泣き言なんて何の足しにもならないもんね。私にはただ頑張るしか道はないのよ。努力するわ。歯を食いしばってね。そして必ず夢を叶えるわ。絶対に。
ウリュウ、エンジェ偉いよ。頑張ろう。僕もママも応援する。ええ、応援します。主が強欲であればあるほど私たちの価値も上がるというもの。それよりエンジ様、せっかく10人も集まったんだし、みんなでしりとりでもして遊ぼうって提案がありまして、負けたら罰ゲーム。私に耳をかじらせて。
もうあんたの頭には食欲以外ないの？グマイどもの愚かな提案をお許しください。そろそろ勉強に戻られなくても大丈夫ですか？
やだやだやだ。ずっとお勉強終わるの待ってたのに遊んでもらえないなんてやだ。
やだ。
悪くない提案と思います。たまには遊ぶのも頭の良い柔軟になるかと。
That'd be a hell of a hard thing to do. Play some Shiratori with fucking 10 different people that you gotta like, you know, keep track of in your mind. How the fuck is that gonna work? I wanna see that. I wanna see that. Let's see that.
ベルフェが司るのはダイダだっけ？
Yeah, she's ready to take a break, right?
もっともらしいこと言ってるけど、うまいこと
She's
言ってるわ
being
ね。
very sneaky.
失礼しました。エンジェ様は勤勉でおられる。
エンジェさえ良ければ私もみんな
I
と
like
遊
Belfi
び
though.
たいな。
Belfi's one of my favorites. I like Belfi, Mammon, Lucifer, and Satan. The rest are hit or miss.
みんなでワイワイ。きっと楽しい。
Definitely Belfi's the best though.
フリュウ、エンジェ遊ぼう遊ぼう。みんなでしりとりをやろう。
Yeah, I want to see this shit. I want to see her play this shit.
では作太郎のウリ
Wow.
ュウからスタ
This
ー
is
ト
like
で。
a word game. You got to start with the last letter of the word that somebody else just said. So now you got 10 people and all these words to fucking keep track of for Angie. Let's see what she can do with this shit.
この場合何からになるの？リュ？ユ？
ウリュウからなんだろうね。やっぱりリュウ。
Dragon.
こんなおかしな語尾の単語が出てくるなんてめったにないし。
じゃあ私が一番。リュウから行くね。時計のネジのリュウズ。
Hmm.
私が一番に言いたかったのに。
Too bad, Leviathan. Fucking slow bitch.
リュウトの方が素敵。
Too late.
なんだかさっきから難しいのばっかりね。というか順番どうなってるの？次は誰？
ウリュウ、誰でもいいと思うよ。思いついた人順でいいよ。何それ、いっぱい言えた人が勝ち？早口しりとりだね。じゃ
いいよ
あ私行くね。ズッキーニ、ニンニク炒め、ペタブのパスタ。どれも美味しそう。3つもいっちゃった。
ベルゼ3点獲得と。
Alright, Belzy.
接続詞はありなのか？のがありになったら何でもありになっちゃうわ。最後のはダメよ。1点減点。目からよ。
じゃあ マリアね。メレンゲ。ゲ？
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Sakutaro. What does that mean? What the hell? Wait a minute. Gay?
下水道埋め立て地地下室
Nice. So again, starts with a gay, ends with a O, or ends with the U actually. Starts with the U, ends with a chi. Starts with a chi, ends with the su. So now we gotta get su for the next word. That's how you play this game.
ざっとこんな
Pretty
感じ
simple.
お姉様なんだか品のない単語ばっかり何よじゃあ品のいい
You
単語
fucking
で
talking
続
about
けてみな
Lucifer,
さいよ
bitch?
とにかく
Shut
私
your ass up,
3点
Leviathan. You shut your ass up.
次はつよつ
Su.
こんな変なしりとり初めて。面白い。うりゅう。全然わかんないけど面白い。うりゅう。
I played no more Shiratori before, but this kind of weird Shiratori was a new experience for me. 7 sisters who would be lively enough just on their own: Maria, Onechan, Sakutaro, and me. I was now surrounded by friends that were just so fun. Encouraged to accept the world of magic, a world of witches. That alone wouldn't change the fact that I was locked up in an academy without seeing a friend in my class. But I was having such a fun and merry time regardless. I'll become a witch like Maria Onechan, and someday I'll add my family to this happy circle. Mom, Dad, and Oni-chan, and possible George Oni-chan, fucking bitch George, and Jessica Oni-chan too. You don't need George. Fuck George. Fuck George. Leave him off the list, please. Please. And my other relatives. Everybody but George. I'll call everyone here except for George. Even this, without a single George missing, just George. Just George missing. And we'll all be gathered together.
それが
Without George.
私の
That's my dream.
夢
That's my dream. I have a dream. That one day we can leave George fucking asshole Ushiromiya out of this fucking life. Please. No, he's gonna be back next time we go back to the game board. You know that. You know that, guys. You're gonna deal with George's ass pretty soon.
私はそれを叶えるまで絶対にくじけない。
エンジ様はきっと大魔女になられます。あなたがそうだと信じるだけで、我ら煉獄の七姉妹はその日まで常におそばにお仕えするでしょう。
いてくれる？いつまでも私の力になってくれる？
Unless you stop imagining them, they're gonna be there forever. Like, literally.
当然。だって私エンジ様の友達じゃないですか。
そうね。常に全員揃ってみんなで遊びましょう。今もこれからもずっとずっと。
エンジ様が夢を叶えられる日まで。
The lively 10-person game of Shiratori, cut off from the time alongside the street, under the forever bright warmth of the sun, continued without end.
Maji, ほんと。どういうわけ？後宮さん。
In the end, I wasn't able to make a very good grade on my test. I had thought I memorized things in my own way. If you could manage anything by cramming all night like that, no one would ever worry about tests.
あらかじめ問題が分かってたら普通楽勝じゃない？楽勝。
さすがの私たちも空欄に答えまでは書き込みませんでしたわ。その程度はお勉強してくれると信じてましたから。
ちょっとマジこれ信じらんない。ほとんどダメじゃない。
Damn! She got like a 0?
あんた本当にちゃんと予習したわけ？
Maybe she's playing a little bit too much with these witches. These 7 stakes.
一応
Maybe less, right?
一応ってレベルじゃありませんことよ。後ろここまでひどいと私めまいすらしそうですわよ。
Why the fuck is she in this fucking school, dude? Get this girl out of this fucking school.
もう神よ。
Go to a normal fucking school. Fuck these bitches.
こんな簡単なテストすら無残な成績を残し、クラス全体の平均点をガタ落ちさせる彼女を。
The same test had been given to another class first. They managed to get a hold of that test paper, so the average score for this test was unusually high, enough to obscure my slight improvement. However, there are some things that I couldn't make an excuse for. If I had spent that entire day studying like that, I might have been able to get a slightly higher score. Slightly? But I hadn't gotten that far. After all, after that on that day, I had spent the time having fun playing Shiratori with the Seven Sisters, Sakutaro, and One-chan. As expected, the winner had been Maria One-chan. She hadn't been a strong player because of her various bits of random knowledge. Sakutaro had gotten the penalty. He had spent the whole time cheering for everyone else's answers, and had completely forgotten to think of any himself. Other than that, he got dogpiled with the Seven Sisters and had his ears thoroughly nibbled, didn't he?
ねえ、聞いてる後宮さん。
They were surrounding me, twittering like small birds. Annoying, smelly. On the outside of that circle was Mammon, a weary expression on her face.
相変わらずおかしな学校ね。自分の成績が良かったなら万々歳じゃないの？
連帯責任とやらのせいでしょ。彼女らにとって自分の成績がどうこうじゃなくて、クラスの平均点が低くて恥ずかしい方が問題なのよ。あるいはその結果、罰則として与えられる方。
それってつまり成績を良くしたいから勉強してるとかじゃ、連帯責任や奉仕活動が嫌だから勉強してるって意味？
妬ましくて恥ずかしいのよ。誰かより劣りたくない。恥ずかしめられたくない。そんな気持ちだけが彼女らを勉強に駆り立ててる。勉強がしたければ勝手にすればいい。
That's a poor like school model, by the way. It's not gonna get people to fucking motivate themselves to study.
つまるところ、連帯責任も奉仕活動もなければ、彼女らは勉強などする気もないわけだ。勉強の意味も知らず勉強することの、なんと愚かしいことか。
Exactly.
しかし本当にこいつらはうるさくてバカバカしい。エンジェ様の貴重な昼の一時を邪魔するなと言うのに。
こいつら嫌い。早くどっか行っちゃえ。お腹すいた。早く消えちゃえ。
ごめんね、みんな。人間ってのはどうしてここまで浅ましいのかしらね。
自分で努力するよりエンジ様に努力させる方が楽で強欲に平均点を稼げるってことでしょ。人間なんてみんな強欲。そしてより楽なようにそれを強いる。こいつらとはやがて煉獄の山で再会するわ。第五感を抜けるときはせいぜい己が足元に注意することね。
Better watch yourself in purgatory, bitch. Mammon controls the fifth terrace of the mountain that reaches to the paradise, Mount Purgatory. Given that she herself is promising them this, we can probably be sure that after those girls die, pardon me, their journey to heaven would not be an easy one. No, in fact, why don't they just go to hell? There you go. Even better. You go to hell and you die! Alright, that's a good point to call the day. So I'm going to continue this maybe tomorrow after work, possibly, or maybe I'll come back later today and continue with a little bit more. We're in a church. Looks like we're in a chapel. Maybe this is a chapel. Maybe this is a classroom. Looks like either one, right? Maybe it's more of a classroom, actually. Yeah, it looks like a classroom, actually. like a lecture class. Anyway, we'll pick this up later on, guys. Went to a couple different areas with Angie. She danced around getting back into the game board, but she never got to the game board again. We're busy going back through her class history, back through her school life history, and all the bad shit that's going on with her life. So we'll save it right here, and we'll get back here next time. And in the between time, and in the meantime, y'all be good to each other. Take care of each other. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. Later!